In general, my position never encourage mandating business at the expense to them. However, this is the law. You work in this country, you also have to have the right to work permission, and you got to be eligible to be hired. And on the other hand, if an employer knowingly hire the people who are not eligible to work here, then they are breaking the law. So E-Verify would be a tool just help them to withholding the law. So for that reason, I think all the employers should be encouraged to use. But I would not support a demand on their own cost to use.
Mr. Thompson, same question.
I don't need you to repeat it. I actually happened to have been in the Senate when 529 was on the floor for a vote, and I voted against it. I think that was a good vote then, and I think it's still a good vote. I think that measures that are designed principally to scare people and win votes seldom make good governing policy. They're rarely good for the economy, seldom good for people's peace of mind, and never solve the problem. The issue of immigration needs to be solved at the federal level. Certainly, employers need to verify the status of their employees, but even Senate Bill 529 exempted a whole swath of the economy, agricultural workers, not because the agricultural industry was doing such a good job of e-verifying on its own, but because it was basically a carve-out for Republican senators from South Georgia representing farm country, saying that they didn't want their industries having to spend money on this system. I think that we have to find a way of dealing with immigration at the federal level that isn't about sweetheart deals, that isn't about scaring people that look like me to vote against people that look like Mr. Guan.
Thank you. Now to our audience question. We're going to start it off with Mr. Thompson. Do you support or oppose Arizona type of immigration laws in Georgia? Please state your position.
I do not.
State your position.
I'm against that. I mean, if you want me to go on,
elaborate.
I'll elaborate for you so you won't be fumbling around for the follow-up deeper question. The bottom line is that scaring people to win votes for one particular political party in an election is bad policy. That's all that's about. It doesn't really solve the problem. The problem has to be dealt with at the federal level. Now, I'm not advocating one way or the other. My wife's from Colombia. Folks who know us know that the federal government tried to deport her at one point because basically the system is so broken that the same people that had my wife's correct immigration papers, the same people who were trying to arrest her, the same people that leaked the story to the New York Times, and the judge that finally decided that this was all a brouhaha and let her stay, were not only in the same building, they were all on the same floor of the same building. But no one bothered to go from one cubicle to another cubicle, Dilbert style. It was like a horrible episode of The Office. It was everything that's wrong with our federal bureaucracy, magnified 1,000 times. That's what has to be fixed. And you can't fix it by waving flags or putting vigilantes on the border or saying papers please to every single person that comes into your state that essentially doesn't look like me. And I have to recognize that the majority of the people in my district don't look like me. And in the 5th district, the most diverse district in the state, where there are 120 languages spoken, we simply cannot have a law like that on the books scaring our citizens in our communities in Norcross and Lilburn and Duluth.
Mr. Guan, do you support or oppose Arizona type of immigration laws in Georgia? Please elaborate on your position. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for the question. And that's what I expected to come up to. First, I want to say, you're now looking at an immigrant himself. As I have mentioned, an immigrant to this country from China. And second I want to mention about is I have to briefly disagree with Senator Thompson's position about our immigration system broken, and I will tell you why. I have been served as the immigration court interpreter for the past 15 years, and I have been going in and out in all kinds of immigration cases, and watching how our judge works, how our attorneys works, and painfully evaluating each particular case. However, the trouble we have is not our immigration system broken. It was overflowed. It wasn't designed to handle the number of the people right now flashing into the gate. If you know any engineering, any machine is designed, has a capacity. So now I can simply say it's over its capacity. And the reason caused that is at the source. That is our border. The border is not secured, and no immigration reform can solve that. And who is in charge of that? That's our federal government. And I have used one example. It's compared to a house. Now we have the roof leaks, and what we see in the state level is the water damages on the ceiling. And right now, we probably, some of the good folks, try to patch that ceiling. And because the problem caused by the federal government, who did not do their job to get our border secured. And ironically, what they're there right now is suing the people who try to patch the ceilings, try to fix the inside. So that's what I would say. I would not just say as Arizona law as itself, but number one, I want to caution that we don't want a law to just look people different and then to create a profiling.
Thank you.
However, we do need something to draw the attention of the federal government to get the problem solved, get the border secured.
Thank you. And now we'll go to our 2-minute closings. Since Mr. Guan opened us up first, we'll have Mr. Thompson go first with your 2-minute closing. Thank you.
And I will try to keep it to 2 minutes, but I'm both a lawyer and an elected official, so that's kind of hard sometimes. You've been good at holding up the cards, so thank you. And I do want to thank all of you for coming out on a Thursday evening in traffic. I know that most of us here, to be honest, probably are with one candidate or the other, but still, it's incredibly important, you as opinion leaders, even if this room is not packed full of people, you as opinion leaders and leaders in your community, and you may not think of yourself as leaders, but if you've taken the time to come down here, whether it's because you're working on a campaign or you heard about it in the Gwinnett Daily Post, or you're with WAND, or the League of Women Voters, or some other group, you are an opinion leader in your community, and I'm hoping that you'll take the things that were said here by both Mr. Guan and myself and come back and tell the folks in your communities. It's a shame that so few people vote, especially in non-presidential elections, and I just hope that that changes, because I'm interviewing, as I said in the beginning, to be rehired as the state senator for this area, for our communities in the 5th District, and I want as many folks voting as to whether to rehire me or not. So I'm just absolutely making a plea that you go out and talk to folks about what you heard here from all the candidates, what you heard from Gary, what you heard from myself, especially those that live in the 5th District, so that everyone is making an informed decision and so that as many people vote as possible, because that's really the key. So other than that, I don't know how else to close except to say that it really has been an incredible pleasure and honor to serve the diverse community that is the 5th District along the 85 corridor. It's an honor that I hope to continue, and that I hope to continue working on issues like bringing MARTA to Gwinnett, bringing mass transit to Gwinnett, bringing quality education to Gwinnett, and ensuring that all of Gwinnett has quality education, not just the neighborhoods that aren't in the Title I area have quality education, and make sure that we have a quality standard of living and that our unemployment rate, in fact, drops below the national averages as opposed to sits parked above the national average as it's been doing. So thank you, and again, I'm just asking for your vote for re-election. Thanks.
Thank you.